Morning, folks. The morning after. The morning after what? The morning after the day before. What happened on the day before? Hey, the day before yesterday, Tuesday, was for me, luckily, a day off. I had to go out of London yesterday, which was a bit annoying because I was kind of looking forward to the state visit by the South Korean president. However, this is what matters, I'm back and refreshed and recharged for what will probably be another week-ish, give or take, of horsey fun until this place is closed down. But don't worry, everybody, it's not being closed down permanently, irrevocably, forever. It's only going to be closed down for a month or so, give or take. Now, interestingly enough, you can probably hear the helicopter above me buzzing. That isn't SEAL Team 6, everybody. Oh, what have we got here? Look at this, everyone, look. It happens to be some VIPs, that's right. It is the South Korean president and his enormous entourage heading to Downing Street to meet Mr. Rashi Sunak. And I didn't know that. Remarkable coincidence, they just happened to be going along. This guy obviously got lost on the way. Woo, zoom. Anyway, so yep, they're zooming down to meet our lovely, glorious, unelected Prime Minister, Mr. Sunak, at 10 Downing Street. A friend of mine just driving by in the car just shouted my name. That's kind of fortuitous, I guess. I mean, I turn up and then the South Korean president turns up. I think somebody might well have leaked the memo of my visit to the South Korean delegation. I think that they must have known I was going to be here this morning, hence turning up just to make sure they could be in the London City Walks video. I can't say I blame them, guys, to be honest. If I could be in my own video, I'd consider it, yeah. But how lucky is that? I mean, 2 seconds after I switch on the camera, the president arrives. What I'm thinking is that he had a forward delegation follow me from home this morning all the way to Horseguards, and then obviously they radioed ahead to say, right, you just started filming, head off now, Mr. President. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, you know. That's not me being immodest, it just makes sense. Anyway, folks, the good news is that it's busy with tourists on a lovely morning. Now, much as we all like the South Korean president being in London, he's not a bona fide tourist. Why? Because he's not going to get shouted at by the Kingsguard. Why is he not going to get shouted at by the Kingsguard? 2 reasons. One, as a foreign head of state, he has diplomatic immunity. So in theory, he could say to the Kingsguard, hey, if you slap me, I'm going to get really angry and let my my security deal with you. Who knows what would happen then? It would escalate pretty quick, I'm thinking. And notice we've got troopers on either side. The inner yard hasn't looked this clean since the first cobblestones were laid back in the 18th century, guys. I'm really not exaggerating. It actually looks, I mean, I don't know, but it would not surprise me at all if they'd completely jet washed the floor the night before yesterday. Now, the reason being, of course, the king came through these front gates yesterday. I wasn't here, but my friends were filming, so yeah, I saw the footage. King came through the gates here, South Korean president, delegation, etc. Big, big deal. They've cleaned it all. It is so clean, everybody, that I'm even going to potentially eat my Tesco meal deal as a picnic sitting on the floor. Goodness me, it looks like somebody jet washed away 250 years of glorious British history and dirt. Tourist skin, hair, tears, gone. It's almost like I need to start all over again from the beginning. And as if that in itself were not absolutely remarkable enough, they're already starting to disassemble these lovely pavilions. Now, I have no idea what they're going to do with them. That helicopter buzzing above, by the way, is a police helicopter over the delegation that just headed into Downing Street. It'll move away shortly. It's going over towards St James's Park now. Anyway, yes, they are clearing up the detritus of the South Korean state visit, okay? As I said, the president's still here. He, I believe, is leaving tomorrow morning. We might catch another glimpse of him. No idea. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. Why? Because it's over and done with. The final 24 hours. I'm not sure who the two lovely soldiers over there are. Look, in red. and nor do I know where they're going. Wellington would be my guess. But anyway, that was quite an unexpected bit of luck. That, incidentally, over there is the back of Downing Street. But beyond that wall, going over toward the Foreign Office building, gardens of Downing Street, etc. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if the South Korean president and Mr. Sunak are actually playing a game of croquet right now on the Downing Street lawn. That at least ends the sort of the drama of what's been happening here at Horseguards with the state visit. That, everybody, is the magnificent Palladian wonder where we spend so much of our time, with, of course, the absolute glorious clock at the top. Okay, all of these people coming through here are obviously rushing over to Buckingham Palace. Why? Wednesday is a guard change day, okay? That chap at the front in the grey coat is a tour guide, and he is leading his trusty band of merry followers, also known as highly paying tourists, over to Buckingham Palace, where he can hopefully rinse them for some more cash. Right, let's get back through the tunnel, everyone. I need to sort of keep an eye on the timings. I'm a teeny weeny bit out of the loop, just by having been off for a day. That always happens. Have a day off, go back to normal life, forget about Horseguards, and you know what? Boom. Yep. I kind of lose the rhythm of the place. Anyway, let's have a look at the time. 10:30. Right, so we're relatively early. This is good. Why? Well, two reasons. One, the Blues and Royals are leaving this morning. Our lovely guard in front hasn't decided he's leaving now, guys. He hasn't quit. He's simply doing his rounds. That was the 10:30 bell we heard. He's going to the front to do his rounds. He will only have one more rounds this morning at 10:45. He is then done, okay? Not just for the day, but for several days, because the lifeguards will be returning to Horseguards this morning. This is how interested some of the tourists are in the King's Lifeguard. Look. He's even more interested than I am, and I'm sort of almost obsessively interested. So I should be doubly concerned, I guess. Pretty much. Let's see. If he gets shouted at, especially if it's in my video, great. That's the ideal, isn't it? Really. Tourist tears. I'm surprised that they've actually still left the remnants of yesterday's little barricade. This front entrance here was sealed off to the public yesterday. No peasants were allowed through the gate, only royalty and foreign heads of state. And His Majesty the King came through the gate in his car yesterday, through the front here into Horseguards. Quite a rare thing, to be honest, but at the same time, with heaving crowds, it wasn't to me personally super worthwhile. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. I mean in the sense that we had the coronation, we had the state opening of Parliament. It just, it goes on and on and on. There's been an awful lot of work for the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment. In the space of the past 6 months, they've been pretty much relentlessly at work on public events. It's been, been a long one. And that, folks, is why in just over a week, the majority of the horses, I think I did refer to this in the last video, not all, but the majority of these glorious horses, and this one I believe is Sparta. In fact, I don't believe it's Sparta, it is Sparta. Guys, the reason I know it's Sparta is if we zoom in a teeny bit to the horse's head, we can see that little, there we are, boy. Pretty sure Sparta's a gelding. We can see that little almost diamond shape. Wow, I've actually immediately recognized a horse. That's because my sieve-like brain tends to retain information for about 48 hours, guys, before it tends to slowly leak away. But yeah, 100% it's Sparta, as you can see. Looking pretty relaxed this morning, but I guess that's what happens when you don't have a million tourists sticking their hands in your nostrils, stroking your head and stuff, and generally spreading dirt, disease, and foreign germs all over your mouth as a horse. It'll be interesting actually to see, this place having been closed yesterday, just how busy it gets today. I'm kind of interested in the sense that because yesterday, one, was not a guard change at the palace, and two, this place was closed, to see whether a lot of the people that were in London expecting to be able to access Horseguards yesterday will come back. There were, in fact, even in Monday's video, I remember mentioning there were a hell of a lot of Koreans in London that had travelled from all over the place, and rightly so, to get a glimpse of their president. Okay? Funnily enough, it's probably often easier to do that in other countries than at home, depending on which country you are from. South Korea is a democracy, of course, but a lot of countries that are supposedly democratic, you've got pretty much zero chance of getting close to your president, prime minister, head of state, etc. I'm very tempted to head down to Downing Street, but I'm wondering two things. One, the convoy would already have gone inside. Two, even though the King's car is being used by the South Korean president, it's highly unlikely it'll be out anytime soon. Secondly, this channel is primarily about horses and horse guards and not about royalty, which might seem a slightly peculiar thing to say, considering that the existence for this place and the guards is the royal family. But yes, the focus is on the military side of things, everybody. And the lovely tourists that visit stick their thumbs up, have a Union flag scarf, and generally look happy. Yeah, that's the focus. I wonder what this big softy's thinking here. Look, I think that he's thinking, hey guys, guess what? I'm nearly done. I'm going back to Hyde Park Barracks very soon. I'm going to be running in the park tomorrow morning. And oh, look, you see that when I said the word park, he perks up. I'm going to be running in the park soon, and more importantly, this time, in less than 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be running around in open pastures with my 200 horse buddies up at Melton. Yeah. The majority of the horses are going to Melton, guys. They're being put out to grass for the best part of an entire month. Okay, they are going to be running around, horsing about, and generally having fun. Fresh air, lots and lots and lots of autumn grass in those pastures up at Melton. That's a place in Leicestershire, and they will all be together in a very, very large pasture. It's the same place actually up in Melton where the HCAV horses were put out to grass during the summer. And in fact, actually, a few were still there last month. Any that have ongoing health issues or are unable to carry a rider, for example, if they have a bad back, they're often out to grass at Melton for a while until they are better and able to return to duty. That's right, guys, they're not sent to the glue factory. They're put out to grass at Melton until they get better, until they're happy and healthy and ready to return to duty, if they get ready to return to duty. And I see that personally. When you were inside, the South Korean president came by. Yeah, he came by in the King's car. Yeah, I was just in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I'm trying to run catch it.
I only switched the camera on 30 seconds before it came along. Super weird. It was just pure luck. Yeah, they've gone to Downing Street. So the helicopter will stay there until they finish and then follow them back. You saw there's a drone as well, South Korean drone. Wow. Okay, guys, so we've got helicopters and we've got drones. Almost certainly a South Korean manufactured drone. That said, I mean, the South Korean president's going to have enough listening to our British Prime Minister drone on for the next hour during their meeting. So it's not surprising he's got his own drone. Where is it? Wait, I must be blind. Oh, there. Ah. Damn it, that is really high up. In fact, I didn't even notice it. That is super high. Wow. Morning. That's not your drone up there, is it? You see it over there? So asking the police if it's their drone. That drone is very, very high up. I'll try and focus on it. I'm not sure the camera will pick it up, folks. Let me see if I can sort of super zoom in. There it is, look. That's at 10 zoom. Yeah, anyway, that's the drone. It's hovering directly above Downing Street. Sorry guys, this is me droning on about the drone. Back to the tourists. It's super chilly this morning. I've just noticed, I'm thinking, hold on a second. Why can't I not film the hand on my right arm? It's because it's frozen solid like a block of ice. Yeah, it's a super, super, super chilly morning. Temperature, median air temperature is around 6 degrees here. So we're not quite at the stage where we're going to have, you know, white icy pavements. And regrettably, we might not even get to that stage this year, purely because of the fact that it typically ends up getting super cold mid-December. Okay, and by next week, the average temperature daily will be about 5 degrees. However, this place will be closed. But if it does start to snow, folks, I will grab my camera, I will run outside as fast as you can imagine. We're talking Usain Bolt fast, and make some snowman, tourist snowball fight videos. One of my first ever videos on this channel was exactly that. And that classic video, guys, is going to get reposted this week because on the 26th of November, which give or take, when is that? I don't know, this weekend or whatever, soon. That is the 1 year anniversary of the day I opened my YouTube account. Kind of a big deal because my first year goal was 5,000, almost at 35,000. So I think I'll repost that snowball fight video. That's my single favourite video of all time on the channel, on any platform, TikTok, YouTube, any platform. So much we love the horses. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting video, and likely never to be repeated actually. It very, very, very rarely snows here, and even if it does snow, it's incredibly rare that snow will settle on the ground. It usually snows for an hour or two, mushes, becomes water and slush, and it's done. I've seen a lot of police moving around this morning as well. I'm wondering if, perchance, those morons at Just Stop Oil will be back. Oh, let me dash through the gates, folks. Look at this. Look what I spy. We've got a long guard just in time. How glorious is that? Thoroughly magnificent, in fact. That is beautiful. Wait, I am going to. I'm going to dash through the tunnel, guys, so we can see the grey coming out. Look at this. How amazing is that? Absolutely spectacular, eh? Goodness me. I'm really hoping he's not going to terrify these tourists who are probably now thinking, what on earth is this? No tourists, they're not reshooting Shakespeare in Love with Ralph Fiennes and Gwyneth Paltrow. This is the real deal. Gosh. Even more interestingly, there's a good chance this morning, I can't promise, but there's at least a 50% chance that we'll be able to catch him coming back. Okay? Yeah, a very good chance. Why? Because that rider on the grey is not going very far. Okay? He's going to go to the first set of traffic lights at this end of the mall and wait. What's he going to wait for? He's going to wait for a visual sighting of the lifeguards, the lifeguard regiment. That's what he's waiting for. And any moment, quite literally any moment, the other troopers that are already on horseback, actually only a couple of them are here, it's going to be a bit longer. That was super early to see the trumpeter come out on that grey. Wow, so we saw the South Korean president and a trumpeter. However, folks, many people mentioned last time that, hey, you missed the trumpet solo, it was out the back. The reason I was quite tempted then to dash through the tunnel fast, yes, of course I wanted to get a good picture of the grey, but as you all saw, and more importantly heard, there was no trumpet solo. Okay, I don't know why there wasn't. Does that mean there might be one when we come back in? When he comes back in, the trumpeter? Possibly. I'm trying to think actually, he seems very early this morning. Wait, it's 10:42. I would expect that visual sighting of the lifeguards probably around 10 to 11 for them to be in the yard here by 11. So yeah, he's a little teeny bit early. He's going to have a bit of a wait by those traffic lights. I was half tempted to run over there after him, but it's a bit kind of, how to say, I don't know, it's just a little bit, it makes me uncomfortable to do that. I'm okay running around within these walls, but actively chasing after service personnel, much as I'm a known face, just feels like an inappropriate thing to do. So I will stick to what happens within these walls and the parade ground at the back for that obvious reason. Now there's virtually zero chance of him coming back in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I would think. I will keep my eyes peeled from the front, but we get a teeny weeny bit more time with the Blues and Royals horses, especially lovely, super chilled Sparta. So chilled actually that the tourists are like, you know what? I don't want to get a picture with this horse because he's not going to bite me. all my friends, all my family. He's a passive beauty, this one. And not the tourist guys, I'm referring to the horse, of course. The horse, of course, yeah. I'm a little bit surprised actually that that they did leave open the front gates here this morning. If they've got so much traffic and there's still diplomatic, you know, flurries of diplomatic activity, they often close this. But then again, if there's no scheduled route through horse guards for any of the diplomatic personnel, I guess it's okay to leave it open. Secondly, to do or to have to see the long guard here, they need to have the gates open. The long guard could come across the parade ground into the yard, and actually where we did see that last week, they did keep the front gates closed during the long guard. But it kind of feels, I don't know, a bit of a waste in the sense that, you know, no one is able to get up close to see it. All the tourists that are here might understand or see, hey, why is there this beautiful white coloured grey just inside the gates that we can't get closer, we can't take pictures with. And I get that, I do.
You're not very cooperative.
Okay, who's up next? Miss, I can stand so far away from the horse that even if it runs at me, I'll be at the airport before it gets me. I'm standing so far back, otherwise it wouldn't all fit in the frame. So the very final rounds of the Blues and Royals, folks, for the next few days. This is the trooper on his final rounds. There he is. Oh. Civil servants on their way to work. It would be such a pity if the Kingsguard had to trample some British civil servants. Doth they protesteth? Gosh, you can tell how much work they put into making sure they are pristine in the presentation. His helmet is absolutely immaculately shiny. What a thing to see. Wow, this guy over here just got lucky. Look, he's going to get 2 King's Guards in his picture. What is it with the police this morning? There's got to be some JSO thing going on. Look, there are van loads of police all over the place. It would not surprise me at all if they've got some intel that just stop oil are either on the way or are already here. Oh, morning smiles from the guards. I guess that's because they've just realised, hey, we're going back to barracks this morning. And I can't blame them for that enthusiasm. Okay, that is his final rounds. Okay, that's the last time we're going to see a Blues and Royals gatesman. He's the gatesman, this guy, doing his rounds here in a good number of days, actually, thinking about it. Today, obviously, is Wednesday. They're leaving, as I mentioned, and that sort of reminds me to hang around near the tunnel. So back he goes into the arch. That's the final time a Blues and Royals will be doing that in several days, folks. He's off. We're going to shortly be back at Scarlet Cloaks with the lifeguards. Boom. Shop's open early today, actually. Brisk early morning trade, and hey, why not? Okay, I'm still only seeing 1 or 2 of the Blues already on the horses in the stable area. There are a few more at the back, so they're clearly getting ready to leave. I'm hoping to catch, if I'm super lucky, a glimpse of Titan. Will it happen? It might. I have no idea, but that's what I'm hoping for. That's my or one of my favourites. Plus, I wonder if Q10 is still here. There's no reason to believe he's not, and I secretly hoped that we might get 20-30 minutes with Q10 this morning before the regimental changeover. Didn't happen, people, sadly, but you know, that's out of my control. So it'll be very interesting to see which horses they're going to take out. We will spot Q10 in a second, because if he doesn't come out, then obviously that means that he would have been taken over to Hyde Park, or one of the lifeguards would have retrieved him, or another possibility, even though an incredibly unlikely one, Q10 stays here and one of the other lifeguard horses is ridden back by a Blues and Royals instead. I mean, I don't know, just speculating, you know, I have no clue. The horse that's inside the stable area now is playing up. Look, he's kind of twisting and turning. Not sure if you can see that through the gates, but he's really not settling down at all. Look. He's like, let me out, let me out, let me out. Look. Can't wait to leave. I need to be careful because any minute they haul open the gates, they could charge out and stomp me into a little tourist paella right on the floor in the yard. But their departure is imminent, I can tell you that, folks. The only issue is the trumpeter. Now these guys are going to leave. Obviously that means the trumpeter at some point will return. But until I see the stableman coming to the front to actually unlock the gate, I know that I'm safe. How long that will last, anyone's guess. But I will, the second that they do open the gate, dash back onto the corner, get that classic sort of departure scene that we know very well. It suddenly got busy here this morning. Look. Everyone's noticed that there are troopers on the horses just inside. Yet more police. Yeah, got to be a protest ongoing. It's rare to have this much movement this early in the morning, even in central London, very rare. Right, the stableman is sort of out and about. That departure's imminent. It's so busy in the yard. I'm worried about actually getting in someone else's picture. I think what I'll do, everybody, I will dash back to the corner. The second I see the stableman about to open it, here comes the Royal Standard, everyone. You can just about make out the Royal Standard. Look, there it is. Going up. Trooper on the lead horse. Here they come. I'm moving back, everybody, so that I get a good spot. And more importantly, we'll see the tourists scatter if they're not back in a suitable place. Okay, let's see. Here they come. Police pushing everybody back. Here comes the lead horse with the Royal Standard. What a beauty that horse is. Magnificent. There we are. Look at this. There's Q10. Spectacular. Wow. That was quite the sight, wasn't it? Everybody here is like, whoa. All the tourists that have never seen it are honestly sort of open mouthed right now. Okay, so next up, with them going outside with the Royal Standard, will be that trumpeter coming back through the tunnel. Okay, the police are going to be ultra strict this morning with everybody. Two reasons why. There are a lot more horses because of the long guard. There is a long guard, which means highest state of security anyway, because they've got the Royal Standard, and more importantly, still diplomatic visit ongoing just up the road. Still pretty shocked actually how we went from borderline nothing here this morning to rammed. I mean, like absolutely solid rammed. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not going to risk my usual mistake, guys, of running through the tunnel trying to capture something, you know, super unique at the back. It'll just be my luck that this is the day that the, I don't know, the grey decides to flip or something else. But the key thing really is to get, I don't know, as much as I can of what's happening in the yard. What I think I'll do, I'm going to stay here until we actually get a visual. Oh, the trumpeter's coming back. Actually, he's coming back through the tunnel. Is it okay to go to the corner? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go over to the corner, guys, because the trumpeter's coming back through the tunnel now. I don't know if there'll be a solo when he comes back into the yard, but we're in the absolute best spot. Unobscured views of the trumpeter. That said, is he going to wait at the back with everyone else, or is he going to come straight into the yard? I don't know, actually. It's 50-50. Let's give it 10 seconds. Nope, he's coming into the yard. Hey, brilliant. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. And everyone else is at the back. And look at this, everyone. Wow. What a sight that is, eh? Absolutely spectacular. Under the Union flag as well. Brilliant job, trooper. What a lovely thing to see. Well done, that man. Gosh, that is absolutely magnificent, isn't it? Really, really, really glorious. Oh, hold on a second, folks. Now I'm wondering if this is cute. Oh my god. I have no idea which horses we've seen now. This one's heading out a little later. That's the captain, everybody. Again, I can see the 2 pips visually, but the 3rd pip, as many of you pointed out, is hidden under his collar, that very thick red collar on his cloak. So that's the captain. Why is the captain going out on horseback, you might wonder? Well, he's heading out to the back because there is always a senior officer. In fact, there are 2. There's always a senior officer when there is a long guard. Why? Because that royal standard, as we saw people, is at the back. That requires an officer to escort it to the palace, which is where they will be headed. Okay, so this time, unlike last week, we did miraculously end up getting the trumpet solo. More importantly, it was unobscured. No one between the camera, the horse, the trumpeter, and the trumpet. Let me just check on the time now to see if I can guess roughly. It's 54. Yeah, I'm not going to move from this spot, everybody. It could be a 5 to 10 minute wait until the rest of... Well, first of all, the lifeguards will come through, okay? They'll come through the tunnel, form up in here. Some will go into the stables. The blues will come out. They will change over the boxmen, etc. But the key thing is, what happens with that royal standard? It's not going to come back into the yard. That will go to Buckingham Palace. However, I do remember one time before, the trumpeter came into the yard twice. Now, will that happen today? I have no idea, people. No idea at all. So we will see. But next up will be the actual official handover. What does that mean? It means the boxman and the gatesman and the chitsman, that is the 2 foot guards and the 2 horse guards at the front, will be changed over. But that can't happen, obviously, what a surprise, until the new regiment are here to take over. Okay, so for the time being, we wait. Now, I know that's sometimes extremely frustrating, guys, so I'd zoom forward a couple minutes in the video if I were you, and see if they've arrived. I try always to take these videos in one single shot without any editing, whatever, hence the constant narration. That, however, didn't work out terribly well on Monday. Why? Because as I was getting to the end of Monday's video, the Just Stop Oil protest started up at Whitehall. A lot of you saw that video, the Q10 goes crazy video. That was fine. I went up, I saw a very well-known UK TikToker making videos laughing at the Just Stop Oil protesters. And it was kind of interesting just to see the way that there were so many police to deal with, you know, half a dozen at most. I mean, there were 3 or 4 officers per protester. However, the people that were making the skit for TikTok started playing Heal the World, dancing to it by Michael Jackson. No problem, you'd think. However, that is a big problem. Why? Copyright, that's why. Okay, so after back and forwards with YouTube in the last day and a half, we finally agreed a compromise, and they asked that I mute that section, and then they would fully restore the original video, because they actually refused to put it up in the first place, and we can't add it because it can't go up with anything that isn't licensable, and apparently they do not have the ability to license Michael Jackson's Heal the World in the UK. Hard to believe, but there you go. So anyway, that's why, guys, a lot of you might have wondered why there was a repost this morning of the video. That's the full 70 odd minute completely unedited video from Monday. So we've got Q10 going crazy, we've got all of the horsey and horse guards activity, and then we've got that super interesting footage at the end, 10, 15, 20 minutes worth of what happened with Just Stop Oil. I thought it was important to sort of fight my corner with that. One, because I do like to leave the footage intact, okay, without any modifications by me, at least for the video. And secondly, it's a good video. I'm not going to lie, it's one of my favourites. So that's why, folks, apologies for any of you that didn't realise it was a repost. I did pin a comment to the top of that repost this morning, Wednesday morning, making it very clear that, yeah, you know, it is a repost of the video that a lot of you would have seen. And I think, to be honest, that was probably the right call overall. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, back to the timing, guys. It's now 1 minute to 11, so any moment soon we should get some movement. And it's interesting because right now everyone, a friend of mine's at the front, but everyone else, all the tourists, all the people that were here, even those that are still filming, went to the back. So everyone is out the back waiting for something to happen. Something will happen, the lifeguards will arrive. However, when they come through the tunnel, that's a whole different ball game. That could be 1 minute, 2 minutes. Another trumpet solo at the back. You can hear that? The trumpets are playing a second solo on the parade ground. Okay, that's a good sign. Why? Because it means the next event will be the lifeguards coming through the tunnel. Yeah, I'm actually happy because I did refer to the fact that we'd heard 2 solos before. And I was actually doubting my own memory about whether or not the trumpets are played here in the yard, then again at the back. So it appears that the norm is 2 solos, 1 in the yard and 1 out the back. Now we know. We've got 2 examples of that in the last month and only 1 example of a single solo. So I'm guessing maybe the trumpets either had a bad throw or, I don't know, time constraints perhaps. And that's why on one day the solo here in the yard was missed. Not that it matters. I mean, it's just one of those little anomalies that we suddenly come across here. But it's now 11 and we're going to hear the bell go ding, ding, bing, bong any moment. And that should, in theory, be our cue for some movement. It's not super sunny here today, alas. There it is, there's the bell. And that means we probably won't get a super clear reflection on the gate. You can see a little bit of light there peeking through the columns, through the pillars, but that's going to be our best indication of when movement begins. But the police have sealed the tunnel, so momentarily I would think. I wasn't sure that I'd be allowed on this corner this morning because sometimes they are a little bit particular when it's a long guard, and I understand why. You know, they can't be in all places at once, and this corner is arguably a little bit more exposed in the yard than anywhere else. Notice I'm some distance from pretty much everybody else over here, all by myself, guys. Yep, all alone. All by my... Oh, actually, I can't sing that, otherwise I might get copyright problem again. Okie dokie, here they come, folks. The moment we were waiting for. And I am glad in the end that I didn't move. Right, let's see which beauties they've brought with them. See if we recognise any of these. Or indeed the troopers. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Oh, I haven't seen this fellow for a long time. In fact, all this fellow. Number 5. And number 6. Okay, so 3 of the troopers are troopers that I recognise from when the lifeguards were here last weekend, or the weekend past. However, the other 3, they don't look familiar to me. And that's interesting. Why? Because sometimes the troopers are away. Sometimes they're armoured, sometimes they come back to London, sometimes they're off, sometimes they're... It varies massively. There are 100 different reasons why, which I won't go into. But obviously, a lot of the time, a lot of the troopers are not here at King's, okay? Most of the time, the majority of the troopers are based at Hyde Park Barracks. The other half of the regiment is down at Armoured at Bulford in Wiltshire. Now, that's interesting because it means that sometimes, like this morning, there'll be 1 or 2 or sometimes even 3 or more troopers that I have never, ever, ever seen before, including this fellow with his bike, that I've never, ever seen before. And I like that. Why? Because that is an unknown variable. What I mean? It means that I have no flipping clue what's going to happen in terms of whether they're going to shout at tourists, whether they're going to push tourists out of the way, how they're going to respond to tourist transgressions. And it's the same when they bring a new horse, new trooper, new horse. It's kind of like, oh, all right, this is interesting. More importantly, they're only here for a few days, these lifeguards, but they will be off and then back again, trying to mental mass, probably once more between now and the actual shutdown. Yeah, so we've got, luckily, we've got some new faces. I'm going to go back over onto the main part of the yard, everybody, for 2 reasons. One, at the moment, nothing else is going to happen except for the boxman being changed over. They're still preparing the horses, so that isn't imminent. So I'll go back to the front for a little while, tourists and horses, and wait until the lifeguards are ready. I didn't, regrettably, everybody, spot Pagan in that first group. That doesn't mean that that she's not coming over. She might well be at the back with the second group, or she might not be coming over. We'll see. Back at the front, again, I can't remember this fluffy beauty. I'm not sure if it's Harvester. One of you will know in the comments. Single white sock. Wait, No, I'm not going to speculate. Harvester. Super sleepy. Just a second. Wait, what are you on? I don't understand which word. Silverster or harvester?
Harvester, I mean.
I'm not sure. I'm just speculating on the video. I'm not actually sure. Instinctively, I think so, but I try not to name them so much in the videos because I'm making too many mistakes. Yeah. That one, 100% of that end, I do know is Sparta. 100% because of the unusual mark. Yeah, that one's very unusual. It's got like a diamond on its head, but this I'm not entirely sure. I almost, guys, sorry, I almost stumbled and almost fell on the floor in my own video, which would have been a teeny-weeny bit embarrassing. Okay, so we've seen Blues heading out, lifeguards coming in. We've got 2 more troop movements coming up. We've got the remainder of the Blues leaving. That won't happen until after they've replaced the boxman and the gatesman and the chitsman. After that's done, and I'm thinking that should be complete by 11:30 at the latest, the remainder of those lifeguard troopers will come through the tunnel. So yeah, got a good way. Getting a lot of seeing a lot of people actually. I'm being careful, choosing my words carefully. I'm seeing a lot of people with how do I say this? Okay, earpieces basically. A lot of people around horse guards today with earpieces. I'm going to assume, based on obviously the state visit, that they're mostly Korean. Wait for somebody to tell me they're speaking Mandarin. I'm pretty sure they're Korean. That would also make logical sense, wouldn't it? Let's just get slightly more front-on perspective. Because I think a lot of people would have been waiting outside for a glimpse of their president when he arrived this morning for those discussions with the Prime Minister at Downing Street. So I think having waited there for some time, they're now walking along toward horse guards for pictures. And you know what? That's the right decision. Okay, the trooper, the lovely trooper, one of our favourite troopers, is out in his number 2 uniform opening up the boxes. We'll come over to this side in just a moment. There he is, just through the gate there, and he's number 2. Get ready, light is going to flood into the box any moment. Ta-da! Is that ta-da? HCAV's most modest trooper, that trooper in his number 2s, comes out, does his work, isn't afraid of the camera but never seeks it. He's a lovely guy. Yes, look. And yet more vans of police. What is going on today, I wonder? It's a good healthy number of people. Bearing in mind, 1, the guard change hasn't even happened yet, and 2, we're not remotely even close to the palace guard change being complete. That's where the real deluge will begin. I have no idea if we'll end up being 1, 2, 3 or 18 parts today, folks. I will be trying to get as much as I can here between now and the closure, but you know, it really depends on what happens and the battery fundamentally, because one thing I can't do is shoot these videos while the phone is charging, because the way it mounts on the gimbal in landscape means that the USB-C port is inaccessible. It touches the end of the gimbal, so I can only record, I cannot charge, which typically results in 2 videos of about 60 to 80 minutes a piece, which isn't bad really. I mean, you're constant shooting, recording 2.5 hours on 1 hour charge in 4K, not bad at all. Right, the lifeguards are heading.
Guys, just behind the barriers, please.
Here come the new boxmen, folks. I will stay in the yard here for this because they're going to come over super close. Now there is a chance, of course, as there often is, that the horses that are on duty right now will get a little uppity. Police are really shouting at everybody to get out of the way. Look, this lady's cute.
Go now if you go.
Oh, that's it. He's basically saying, get out of here. This guy is exempt. It's the postman. Look.
Yeah, but there's horses coming.
Postman's like. Oh goodness me. That's actually the Royal Mail though. If I were the postman, I would say, hold on a second. This is the Royal Mail. I've got as much of a right the right to be here as the Royal Guard. That said, the postman hasn't got a horse, so... Okay, so... Lady Trooper at this end, Lady Lifeguard. That very rare species, folks, a Lady Lifeguard. There are only a handful of them that I know of, half a dozen. An entire regiment, actually. Now, bear in mind there are at least 20 females in the blues. You could see that being a Lady Lifeguard is a rare privilege indeed. Okay, horse is super chill this morning, and again, I think it's because they were left alone. And plus they kind of had the day off yesterday. And they come, look, totally happy. 2 Blues and Royals horses being led in by a lifeguard NCO, non-commissioned officer. That is likely to be, I would think, but I can't guarantee, Lance Corporal of Horse. That Blues is heading back in as well. Why? Because he's now done. He will be swapped over the gatesman shortly. He's going to go into the tunnel, actually. He'll be relieved in the tunnel. Lifeguards will come out and relieve him in the tunnel. I'm actually going to head toward the tunnel to capture that. That's one of my favourite moments here. We do like that, don't we, when we've got an interregimental changeover in the tunnel. Oh gosh. Once more problem with my let's go into the tunnel theory. It's flipping packed. Yeah, it's really packed. Like really packed. It's a bit more space now, folks, which is good. It's a massive group here, though, in fact, being a little bit too boisterous. However, the police officer on my left is keeping an eye on them, and that's a good thing. So they bash into the camera, in which case it won't be a good thing. The other officer having a peek as well. All good. I was worried that they would kind of fall a little bit onto the space in front. It's a big group, and they're kind of trying to get a group picture. The thing is, if they waited 2 more minutes, when the relief guard came out, the lifeguard relief, they would have actually seen what we're here for, the money shot, which is 2 regiments at the same time, 2 brother regiments in the tunnel, swapping over the gatesman. Coming up next, folks, still here's a lot of people here in the tunnel. It's very busy this morning. Okay, here they come. Trying to catch them in the light. There we are. That's better. Bingo, there we have it, folks. The changeover is complete. Blues and Royals are now done. Boxmen have been changed over, gatesman's been changed over, chitsman's been changed over. Leaving the new lifeguard gatesman, who will probably the next 10 to 30 seconds head to his left and take his position in the arches as the new gatesman. I like the fact actually the officer has been very carefully looking and watching this group, because they've been just about on the right side of getting in trouble. Walking out slowly. That changeover is done. Our new gatesman will be in the archway. Let's have a quick look, and then I will go out and obviously show you which horses we've got on first this morning with the lifeguards. Here we are. This is the gatesman, guys. Now he's going to be here in the arch, I think, for not an awful long time. If the lifeguards are keeping their usual regime of changing over on the even hours, which seems exceedingly likely at the moment, he will be heading off shortly to be replaced. Anyway, we've also got the new chitsman. The trooper is hauling the chain up. There it is. Chain is up. So the lifeguards are now officially the King's Guard, or the King's Lifeguard, to give them their full title here at Horseguards. What's up next? Well, realistically, in the next probably 5 minutes, maybe 10 max, the rest of the Blues, the final Blues and Royals, will leave. Okay? The trooper will close up the boxes in just a moment. So both the sets of doors will be closed up on the backs of the boxes. Why? It's not hot, they don't need to be open. So the trooper just come over now to close it up. Hopefully all these people walk through the box. Here he is. Boom. And here we are, folks. New horses, new guards, new tourists, etc. And that really is what we're looking for. Happy people getting pictures with the guards and the horses. This beauty at this end. Oh, I'm trying to remember, guys. What was the name of the horse? And we only found this out a couple of days ago. Actually, wait. Let me just have a quick look on my phone, because this horse with the beautiful and totally unique dusky eyebrows is unlike any other. I've just forgotten the name. I know it. 1 second. I'll tell you the name of this horse.
Next. Next. Next.
Says before realising you need to look through about 15 pages of horse names. Invader. There we are, guys. It's Invader. This horse is called Invader. Yeah, Invader. That is 100% confirmed. I've just checked it on my list. Dusky eyebrows, lifeguard horse, very distinctive. Invader. And interesting enough, while I'm busy there filming etc at the front, over here on the road, all of the barriers, all of the construction that was done along here in the last couple of days, notice all the stuff that's still here, it's been removed. So that means that by tomorrow morning, Thursday, things will be completely normal here. All the barring will have been removed, the state visit will be complete, and boom, we will return to relative normality. But anyway, I'm super happy that Invader's here. Why? Because after Pagan, I would say that Invader is probably the most recognisable lifeguard horse, just by virtue of that very unique banding around the top of the eyes. Yeah, love to see Invader in one box and Pagan in the other box one day. That would be the dream duo. Not only that, this horse is a very, very, very friendly, passive horse. Looks like a wise horse. I have no idea what these guys are trying to ask the guard, but obviously he's not wasting his time trying to talk to them. He's making massively sure that that their hands are not where they shouldn't be. That's exactly where I'm standing, directly in front now, so we'll see if the hands end up in the wrong spot. Of course, clearly he's not in the mood to be touched, but hey, it is what it is. At least he's not participating in the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, use the horse to get rid of him. Good, smart move there. Everyone else to my left, all those guys that are picking up the barriers, just saw that. They're all laughing their head off. Brilliant. Tops. Love that. Oh, wait, what? One guy's just dropped his phone on the floor on a timer to get a selfie of himself. Look, see the phone on the floor, look. It's actually quite cute. Instead of actually asking someone else to take his picture, he left his phone on the floor. Now, is that foolish? Probably. Why? It's relatively safe here, but anyone passing could have grabbed that and vanished with it in a moment. Okay, now this huge group have now asked him, and he's very kindly agreed to take a group picture of all of them. I think I can fit them all in. That actually is a very fine group picture.
Yeah.
Well done, boys. Yeah, wow. Just fit. Look at that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Top picture. They got one of the best pictures, in fact, of the past couple of weeks. That was a good picture. I'm thinking the guys moving the barrows now that are watching are thinking, maybe we should get an orange high-vis vest group picture while we're here with the King's Guard. Yeah, then they're really tempted now. They're really thinking about, look, the Orange Vest Brigade, they are very tempted to get a picture with the Guard, a group picture. Okay, let's head over and have a look at the other beauty. Now, curiously enough, this horse looks exactly like Sparta. Hold on, now I'm super confused. It can't be Sparta. Oh, I'm also going to be, wait, looking out for the rest of that troop to come through the gate. Everyone's running through now. Here they come. The rest of the Blues leaving. Quickly dash to the front, everyone. It's the second half of the Blues troopers leaving to go back to Hyde Park Barracks. Super. Okay, so we got all of today's troop movements, actually. I mean, very much at the last moment there, but hey, better than nothing. Hold on. My friend is saying, let's go through the tunnel. I'm not sure why we need to go through the tunnel, but let's indulge, see why. He's always got a knack for something interesting happening. But actually, wait, hold on a second. If he's filming there, it's better that I'm filming in the yard. I will dash back through in a minute because we will see the Royal Standard coming in, folks. To give you an idea though of how busy it can be at the back, look, that's all of the Blues. Okay, that's a lot of Blues. Plus you can see the trumpeter over there at the back on that grey, just peeking out. Look, the single lone grey among all of those HCAV blacks. And on the other side, Royal Standard being handed over. There's a transfer, notice. They will now head off, they will leave. And in a second when these Blues leave, that'll be the indicator that the lifeguards are going to come through the tunnel. So let's film this departure. People are getting in super trouble here for going in the middle. That's what the police are shouting about on my right. There it is. That grey is an absolute beauty. I mean, absolutely magnificent. Look. So happy. They're not coming through the tunnel, they're going to leave. So they're going to turn around now and leave the parade ground. That will be the indicator for the lifeguards to come back through. So goodbye to the Blues and Royals, folks, and indeed the Royal Standard. It's the lifeguard trumpeter. On another grey. Magnificent. That's my cue, people, to dash back through and get back to the end of the tunnel before the new guard come through. I can't go into the middle of the tunnel, so I need to get to the end and then quickly dash to the left before the lifeguards come through, being super fast. Hey, morning. Just in time, in fact. Yeah, long guard. Right, they're coming through in any moment, folks. 1 second. Let's have a look and see. Oh. Right. I know, I can't help it. 1 second, they're coming through the tunnel right now. Oh, yeah, I'm a bit tight on the corner here this morning. Anyway, we're going to get that grey again. Here we are. This, of course, folks, is the lifeguard long guard. We witnessed the Blues and Royals long guard. This is the lifeguard long guard forming up. And I'm staying way back because it's going to be a lot of troopers. Gosh, there's so many, I can barely fit them all in the frame. Look at this. How extraordinary. Lady lifeguard captain there. Fall out the trumpeter, I should have said. There goes the trumpeter. royal stand will be handed over, carried in manually. Magnificent. Okay, in they go. Captain's given the command. Notice they're all going around the captain first, and the captain will go in last, as is custom. An all-male troop here, I'm pretty sure. All of the troopers, male troopers. I didn't spot a single lady lifeguard, although there is one at the front, except the captain, the lovely captain at the end. Goodness me, folks. How about that, eh? For, what's the phrase I'm looking for? A very, very pleasant surprise. Such a pleasant surprise that all of these people that were at the back have now run through here in amazement. That, oh my God, there's a white horse. Look at that grey. Look at this. Utterly extraordinary. I mean, really, really, really beautiful thing to see this morning. I'm overjoyed that we saw that. And I think, I mean, I won't know until I review the footage, but I think that might well have been one of the very best captures of the Long Guard, because we got every single stage of what happened this morning, and we got some absolutely unobscured video of both of the greys. The first one with the Blues and Royals and the trumpet solo, and then the second one that we just saw with the lifeguards. Super lucky. Guys, I will be back for part 2 shortly when the palace deluge begins, but as you can see already, yeah, it's going to be a busy one this morning. But yeah, back shortly guys in part 2. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed filming it.